Good afternoon and welcome to HTV News. I'm Blair Caldwell. Our top story this week is the men and women's basketball teams earning a trip to their national tournaments. The news just came in and both teams are excited about their postseason run. HTV's Kelsey Cruz caught up with both teams earlier this week before the tournament teams were revealed to talk about their postseason outlook.
Nationals, that's a big deal. I mean, whether it's my senior year or not, I mean, going to nationals, it's a big deal. That's what we worked for all season. That's been our goal. And now that we can say we're this close, it's pretty exciting.
As we approach the peak of college basketball, the Huntington University Foresters are also about to experience some March Madness of their own. Both the HU women's and men's basketball teams are eagerly waiting to hear the news of whether they made it into the national tournament this year. They will find out this big news the evening of March 5th.
It's definitely a great opportunity. I mean, I haven't been there in the 4 years that I've been here, so it's definitely a new experience for everybody on our team, and I think it might be Coach's first time as well as a head coach, so it's definitely a new experience for everybody, and we're just ready to enjoy it.
We're going to go to Coach's house, and we're going to watch the draw on TV, and we're going to find out if we get a bid or not, so we're pretty excited about that.
The men's and women's basketball teams had extremely successful seasons this year, not only by finishing at the top of their conference, but also having outstanding records. The question is now, can they translate that onto a bigger stage, rather than just their home court?
Obviously, no, it's still up in the air, but we've been practicing like we're going to be there, so we've just been going all out in practice and preparing for whoever we're going to get matched up against.
The men's team has high hopes for entering the national tournament. While some of the players are optimistic about their chances, others are skeptical of whether they will get in. Platt said he was so impressed with his team this year and how they were able to sacrifice their own individual stats for the most important stat, winning. The women's team, on the other hand, is confident that they will indeed be headed to Iowa for nationals next week. This will be Coach Lori Cooler's 5th visit to nationals within her coaching career at HU. However, she believes that this year will be very special.
I've been coaching for quite a long time, and I would have to say that this group of gals that I've had this year has just been a pretty special group in terms of the chemistry that they've had all season long, and just the work ethic and how they've come together really surpassed a lot of expectations.
Reporting for HTV, I'm Kelsey Cruz.
Student Senate's Executive Board elections have officially started. Last night, students met in the hub to hear the candidates' ideas for the upcoming year and how they plan to create change. Students can now vote by logging on to the portal until Friday. We sat down with 3 presidential candidates earlier this week to discuss why they want to be your voice.
I want Huntington to be great. I really want the university to be great, but I also want our experience as students here to be great.
I've really enjoyed the opportunity to make a difference on campus, to help students to serve their needs, and I realize that there's still a lot more work to be done.
I'm not done yet. I want to be able to continue to do so. I want to continue working with our Student Senate, working with administrators, and working with students in order to make the university the best university possible here.
I really want to encourage students to vote. Without students, there is no university. You are important here.
I think the main reason to vote for me is the experience that I have.
Being a small business owner before I came here gives me a lot of experience in management, and so that transfers over well to Student Senate.
To see more of our interview with the candidates, you can go to our website, htvnews.net. You can find more details on how to vote in today's coffee break. Huntington crews are having a tough time keeping up with the potholes all over city roads. Potholes have been popping up all around the streets of Huntington this year. It's taken more asphalt patches, and those are only temporary. The street department says extreme temperatures create potholes. The changes in temps causes the ground underneath the road to constantly move, which creates air pockets. The road that surrounds these air pockets then collapses. City officials told us that potholes can appear quickly, and they're doing their best to keep up.
Right now it's still cold, and as soon as it starts warming up, then we will have 1 to 2 crews out every day, just going and filling the potholes. And what we do is if people call in and report a pothole, we try to get it that same day. Because we know that it causes damage to vehicles, and so we try to get them filled as fast as we can.
You You can report potholes by calling the City Services Department at 260-356-4720 or email them at street.department@huntington.in.us. If your Facebook seemed less active this past week, it could be because Wright Hall participated in a media fast. The Residence Life staff decided they wanted to create awareness about how often we are on our phones. To do this, they cut out their activity on social media sites and spent that time doing more productive things. The guys still use the internet and their email for school purposes. Those who joined in say it was a great experience that they hope will translate even after the fast is over.
The intention behind this media fast, media discernment week, was to create community amongst guys, not just on individual floors, but to have it as a whole entire hall, so that guys from different floors could get to know one another. And it was to create awareness of how much media is a core and ingrained part of our culture.
It was good. I mean, it was definitely challenging at times, but I got a lot out of it. A couple of big things I learned were, I mean, obviously media can be a big use of time. So, you know, when you're not on it, you realize, wow, like I have a lot more time. I didn't realize, you know, how easy it was to just sit there and like waste an hour on Facebook or, you know, something like that. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty common realization probably that people get in. It kind of reminds you of that, and you become more aware after, which is really good. Another thing that's great is I think it eliminates as a distraction. So it's a week where you can, you know, focus on building relationships with other people around you, people on your floor, with God. And so it kind of frees up some time for that, but it also kind of eliminates distractions from those things.
The RA staff says they think the week was successful and proved the point they wanted to get across. While some guys on campus gave up social media, we wanted to know what you all were planning on cutting out of your routine for this year's Lent season. In this week's Man on the Street, we look at what, if anything, you will do without.
For Lent, I decided to give up dessert foods from the DC because I'm trying to eat healthier for these next few days, or 40 days.
Well, I'm giving up caffeine for Lent.
For Lent, I am giving up Netflix because a lot of times, like when I'm bored or just like don't want to do homework, I watch Netflix.
I've given up pop for Lent once, and I mean that's a big deal for me. I don't know about some people, but I drink a lot of Mountain Dew, so.
I'm giving up video games for Lent.
My plan is to give up social media for recreational purposes.
I'm giving up Coke for Lent, and I'm giving it up because I drink entirely too much of it.
Instead of doing that, I want to use that to spend time with God and just kind of just be alone, just not let my shows, One Tree Hill, occupy my time.
It's kind of starting to replace God as an energy source in my life.
It gets in the way of my schoolwork and my, relationship with Jesus Christ, things like that.
With the Lent season upon us, normally that means warmer weather is near. But let's take a look at what your weekend weather looks like to see if that's going to be the case this time or not. So on Friday, you have a sunny day, fully sunny, which is a good sign. A high of 44, a low of 28. On Saturday, we're back to that wintry mix of snow and ice with a high of 38, a low of 19. So be careful because the ice will be all around probably. On Sunday, partly sunny with a high of 37 and a low of 27. So it seems like maybe we're headed in the right direction. Some warmer weather is near, so cross our fingers for that. But that is all we have for you in this installment of HTV. Make sure to check our website, htvnews.net, and follow us on Twitter at HTV News. As always, thanks for watching, your source for all your campus and local news headlines. Have a great day.